Then I can maybe make a decision. But I do have 5:30, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. We will start with the consent agenda. All the following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature normally approved at AHA meetings will be approved by one vote unless any trustee desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of a discussion, consideration, and action on the following items. Minutes of the Finance Committee meeting on January 27th, 2015. Minutes of the monthly trustee meeting on January 27th, 2015. And a check report February 8th, 2015 through March 7th, 2015.
Is that accurate? Through March?
Nope, it shouldn't be. I just now caught it. It's in the future. We work in the future here.
I knew it was prophetic.
That should have been January through February.
Right.
Hold on. Let's right back here. Check report. That would be January 8th, 2015 through February 5th, 2015.
You just interlineate that into the agenda.
Okay.
So I move that we approve the consent agenda with the correction to the check report as stated.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, second by Steve Knox, to approve the consent agenda with the correction of the dates for the check report. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Gaspard,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Slim.
Yes.
So I don't forget. Next item is the CEO's report. Candace?
All right, if you'll notice, if you've read through your statistics, Dr. Culvert's clinic had 182 visits with 15 new patients. Kinsey had 207 with 18 new patients, and that was with her being out for a week. Lindsay's visits are up 384 with 141 new patients for the month of January. What? No. Urgent care continues to climb. Hopefully we've seen our max with flu season at 855 visits for January. Urgent care, although the wait times at times are very long, continues to see good reviews. We have had some complain when we get up to that 3-hour wait time, and we understand that. We are constantly trying to tweak things to combat that, but just like yesterday morning, we had 13 or 14 patients literally show up at one time. And, you know, when that happens, there's just, there's only so much you can do. So we are having an urgent care meeting early in the morning for all the staff that's involved in that to throw out kind of, you know, the things that they see as opportunities for improvement, so we can begin working on those things that the employees are experiencing. Dr. Rockler has agreed to be our laboratory director with Dr. Berry retiring. We sought out his services. He's from Heartland Pathology, and that is who we use for our pathology services, so that should work out well. We hosted the Northwest Leadership class last week. Upfront collections for January were up to $38,300. We did have someone bring to our attention that we need to review our upfront collection policies for urgent care, so we'll be doing that as well in the morning, visiting about that. During the month of January, the volunteers continue to be very valuable to us. They logged over 300 hours of volunteer work. The nursing staff has recently implemented, or actually the dietary staff over at the nursing home has recently implemented the call-in menu system for the hospital patients. So they're using that service from 7 to 5. They're actually able to choose from a menu what they would like to eat, and that seems to be going over well. Pat even said she had someone think that she bought them dinner today. So that's a pleasant compliment I would take. Currently still not meeting the thresholds for CPOE, for medications, medication reconciliation, and patient portal, and the electronic transfer of records. Those are all things that we're continuing to work on. One of the ways that we're trying to improve those numbers is basically using a scribe for the physicians to enter, for us to get all of their physician orders entered. So those items right there are necessary for us to meet the next stage of meaningful use, to be able to reach that and collect on that money. So it is getting more and more challenging to be able to do that. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Does anybody have any questions for Candace? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to approve the Share Medical Center written report to the hospital, hospice, and convalescent home following measures, HCAPS, for February 17th, 2015.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Terry Klein, with a C, by the way, and a second by Hayla Simon to approve the Share Medical Center written report to include hospital, hospice, and convalescent home quality measures, HCAPS, core measures, February 17th, 2015. Roll call vote, please.
Brown.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Gasper.
Yes.
Kinsey.
Yes.
Knox.
Yes.
Simon. Yes.
Next item is contract review of quality evaluation.
So as you know, we did end up having surveyors in again after this last board meeting. And one of the things that they want to see, as you know, we keep all of our contracts on SQSS, our quality system. They actually wanted to see, last year we had brought to you an annual report that we had reviewed, all of the contracts at one time, and brought that to you. They want to see it more routinely done, broken down into, so what Janet's done is she's went back through SQSS to this fiscal year, and you can see from July to this point the contracts that have come due, and the criteria is that first page. Those are the questions that we go through and answer. So you can see all the different contracts that have been renewed or that have expired and that we did not renew.
So they want you to do this more as it happens instead of here they are.
Yeah. So that's what we'll be doing. We just got caught up to this point. So that's what you'll be seeing on a monthly basis as we have the board meetings. You'll see that. We did struggle a little bit with that in proving to the surveyors that we were reporting up to the board. So there's going to be some things that we changed. They were very happy with our use of SQSS and being able to show them the activities, the quality activities that are going on. It was just the reporting up the chain that they want to see in a book for us to be able to show that we brought it to med staff or brought it here and discussed it. So we'll improve that process and be in compliance. So during that process, I will just elaborate on that a little bit more. They did lift the QAPI violation, but they did not lift the infection control. A couple of the things that were needed for that to happen were not completed, and so they will be back to review that sometime in the future on the infection control issues. So, darn it. Do you guys have any questions regarding any of that?
Is there a reason for them to break it out on different pages, or is it just,
What do you mean?
it seems like a lot of paper?
That's the only way she could, because they want to see it
Oh, okay.
more, as it happens, instead of just doing an annual report. So we're going to break it out monthly. I don't know if it would have printed all at once.
I had to cut and paste it all anyway.
You did.
And I could have done it,
Trees, renewable.
They were cedars. It's all right.
Phone.
Noxious.
All right. Any other questions for Candace? If not, thank you, Candace. Appreciate it. Next is Kevin, the CFO's report.
Sure. January, we did see an increase in gross patient revenue by $136,966. We did post $1,733,866, and almost all that increase was due to the hospital. The nursing home did increase by $2,500, and the homestead was down by about $12,000, but that was due to some food, the sales of food and the timing of actually collecting the checks. Total patient days improved from January through December. It was 131 in January compared to 118 in December. Hospice stayed about the same, 141 to 131 in December. And of course, as Candace said earlier, our office visits for the clinic really improved, mainly due to the urgent care. We had 1,625 visits compared to 1,313 in December, so another 300 extra visits for the month of January compared to the month before. Average nursing home daily census was 50.3 compared to 49.3 in December. Our contractuals, less bad debts, and charity care was 48.5% of gross patient revenue. We wrote off $236,621 to collection agencies. We did have charity care during the month of January of $1,251. And our operating expense, excluding salaries, benefits, and depreciation, was $482,818. We did have a net operating loss for January of $250,020, and with sales tax and contributions and stuff, we ended up a net loss overall of $76,814. Cash still continued to be very strong for the hospital. We had $593,944. That represented 17.8 days worth of operating expense. Accounts receivable did decrease again, which is also a positive. It decreased to $86,545 to just a little over $2.8 million for the hospital. We're down to 68.3 days gross days. That was less by 4.5 days in the prior month. And net days were down to 61.3. Accounts payable also continued to decrease. We're down to $656,597, or 47.3 days worth of operating expense. Guys, I'll turn over to page 4. We can kind of look at the 2 years side by side. And you can see that from all operations, we're up about $2.5 million in gross revenue. And with net patient revenue, after we back out bad debts, charity care, and stuff like that, we're up almost $900,000. Overall, so we're up at almost $6.2 million worth of net patient revenue compared to $5.2 million the year before. Of course, the other operating revenue is down by the $700,000, but that's all due to the EHR, because the year before we collected $1.4 million in the EHR, and this year we only collected $750,000. So that's where you see that difference there. Total operating expenses, we were at $7.5 million this year compared to $6.4 million last year. Net operating income was at a loss from operations of $565,432 compared to $390,676 the year before. But our overall net income, we have a positive $405,855 compared to $1,012,440. The next 2 pages kind of shows you the hospital's income statement, and kind of 2 years side by side, and you can see most of the growth from all the institutions has happened at the hospital, because of that 2.5 million, 1.4 million is in the hospitals. So really the other page I'd like for you to look at is really the accounts receivable page. One of the other positive things besides accounts receivable going down, the unbilled actually went down for the first time in 3 months. We're down to $403,000 unbilled. It dropped to $120,000. So we're getting cash in, but we're also decreasing the accounts receivable and the unbilled as well. So that's also a positive. So we're down to $3.1 million overall. And then the next couple of pages, the balance sheet. And pages 15 through 19 are all your statistical summaries, and most of them have went up from the prior years if you look at them. Of course, the ER visits are down, but we expect that with urgent care. Really, the big page is on page 18. If you look at the total clinic visits, you can see for January we had 1,625 this year. Last year we only had 669, so we've seen almost 1,000 more patients between the 2 years in clinic visits. So that's really a good thing. So. Questions?
855 of those would have been urgent care, right?
Correct,
So, I mean, just even without urgent care, we're still up 200 and some, roughly around 200, even not including that.
Right. And a lot of that, if you look on the next page, 19, Lindsay's up almost 200 patients by herself from last year. Of course, last year is when she started in January, so.
Anything else?
I don't have anything.
Anybody have any questions for Kevin? If not, Kevin, thank you very much for your report. Next, Chief of Staff, Dr. Elizabeth Kinsey. I turn the floor to you.
Okay. Let's start with the review of the agenda of the medical staff executive committee. Most of it we'll be covering in detail, so I'll just breeze over some of it. Dr. Self gave the report on long-term care. We've met a lot of goals for the decrease in antipsychotic drug use. That's been a big goal for nursing home use. We still have quite a few patients who are considered appropriately on antipsychotics, but we've dropped a lot of patients from the use of those medications. The nursing home has a weekly staff meeting, which you guys, Rita, he didn't really have a lot to input on that, but I guess that's been a big change for you.
Yes, we've been having weekly staff meetings with the nurses at the different levels of discipline, and then we'll have a monthly meeting with all, and we're just trying to sharpen some communication goals and try to make things a little better for our residents.
Okay, and then there were some QA and QI studies that we went through, and then the infection control log has been up to date, and there's no abnormal infection patterns at the nursing home. And then utilization review. That committee met. We reviewed the blood report. There were no particular findings for blood report. LifeShare is supposed to be contacted within 1 hour of the death of the patient, so organ donation counseling can be considered, and we've done a good job of doing that. And then we also reviewed any medication errors, and those were reviewed in the utilization review committee. Pat and I also gave the QAPI report, and that's our quality assurance program. And so far, we continue to improve on that. That's that SSQS program, also that computerized program, and our system for trying to get everyone up to date on quality assurance and improvement. Candace gave her CEO report. And the rest of the items, essentially, we're going to be covering one by one, so flip to that. The credentialing committee met, and they recommended appointment to allied health staff of Carrie Lutzen. She's our new nurse practitioner who's family practice and working in the urgent care clinic. So I move that we appoint to allied health staff Carrie Lutzen, nurse practitioner.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Terry Klein to appoint to the Allied Health Staff Carrie Lutzen, APRN CNP Family Practice. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Casper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
Then Dr. Gregory Blair works at St. Anthony's, and he's part of our telemedicine telehospitalist program. And the credentialing committee recommends that we appoint him to courtesy staff, so I move that we appoint to courtesy staff Gregory Blair, MD, telemedicine.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Steve Knox, to appoint to courtesy staff Gregory Blair, MD, telemedicine. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Casper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
Dr. Robert Rader will also be working in the telehospitalist program. I move that we appoint to courtesy staff Robert Rader, MD, for telemedicine.
Second.
I think that was Simon. We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Haley Simon, to appoint to courtesy staff Robert Rader, MD, telemedicine. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Casper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
Also, in coordination with St. Anthony's, we have our sleep study program going here. We have several physicians who will be helping us with that. I move that we appoint to courtesy staff Dr. Salman Zubair, MD, for sleep study interpretation.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Terry Klein, to appoint to courtesy staff Salman Zubair, MD, sleep study interpretation. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Casper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
I also move that we appoint to courtesy staff Gregory McInnes, MD, for sleep study interpretation.
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Steve Knox, to appoint to courtesy staff Gregory McInnes, MD, sleep study interpretation. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Casper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
And finally, I move that we appoint to courtesy staff Dr. Zahid Chima, MD, for sleep study interpretation.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Terry Klein, to appoint to courtesy staff Zahid Chima, MD, sleep study interpretation. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Gasper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Klein. Yes.
And as Candace mentioned, with Dr. Barry Leary, we have no one who's qualified to be the director of our lab, so we've worked with Heartland Pathology Consultants, and Dr. Rockler has agreed to be the director for our laboratory services. So the medical staff committee recommends Dr. Rockler be approved, and I move that we approve Dr. Barry Rockler to serve as the director for SMC Laboratory Services.
Second.
Have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Hala Simon to approve Barry Rockler, MD, to serve as director for SMC Laboratory Services. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Gasper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Klein. Yes.
The laboratory scope of services delineates what tests our laboratory will do, which ones we'll send off, who can do what tests, that sort of thing. And I recommend that we approve our current laboratory scope of services. I move that we approve our scope of services.
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Terry Klein to approve the laboratory scope of services. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Gasper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Klein. Yes.
Our sleep lab needs a director, and I move that we approve Gordon Yenser, RCP, to serve as director for the SMC Sleep Lab.
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Hala Simon to approve Gordon Yenser, RCP, to serve as director for the SMC Sleep Lab. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Gasper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Klein. Yes.
And as with the sleep lab, Holter monitors are another area where you need special technical expertise, and they need a director who knows how to supervise that. So I recommend that we approve Gordon Yenser, RCP, to serve as the director for the SMC Holter monitor lab. I move that we approve Gordon Yenser.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Steve Knox to approve Gordon Yenser, RCP, to serve as director for the SMC Halter Monitor Lab. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Gasper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Klein. Yes.
And then for our ultrasound lab, we're in a similar circumstance. We have ultrasound equipment here, but we don't have any physicians or providers who are really qualified to oversee the ultrasound lab. So I move that we approve Casey Collier, RVT, RDCS, to serve as director for the SMC ultrasound lab.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Steve Knox to approve Casey Collier, RVT, RDCS, to serve as director for the SMC ultrasound lab. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Gasper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Klein. Yes.
The ultrasound scope of services is our plan and listing of the services that we provide here at Share Medical Center, including the services that are provided by St. Anthony's Hospital when they come and provide services for us. And I move that we approve the ultrasound scope of services.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, second by Terry Klein to approve the ultrasound scope of services. Roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Gasper,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Simon? Yes.
The radiology department scope of services includes the services we provide here and the MRI vehicle that Composite provides services. And I move that we approve the radiology department scope of services.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Steve Knox, to approve the radiology department scope of services. Roll call vote, please.
Brown?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Gasper?
Yes.
Kinsey?
Yes.
Knox?
Yes.
Simon? Yes.
The radiology policies and procedures manual includes all the radiology procedures, ultrasound procedures, and the credentialing for the people who are able to operate each piece of equipment. And I move that we approve the radiology policies and procedures manual.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Ayla Simon, to approve the radiology policies and procedures manual. Roll call vote, please.
Brown?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Gasper?
Yes.
Kinsey?
Yes.
Knox?
Yes.
Simon? Yes.
The urgent care policies and procedures manual is something that we're still doing a lot of work on. This is our first try.
It's happening.
It's a work in progress. So it's a work in progress, but it's definitely a workable document at this point. And I move that we approve the urgent care policies and procedures manual.
Second.
And that's the current draft of that.
Yes.
Terry, did you? Have a motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Terry Klein to approve the urgent care policies and procedures. Roll call vote, please.
Brown?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Gasper?
Yes.
Kinsey?
Yes.
Knox?
Yes.
Simon? Yes.
And finally, the disinfectant that we were using in the hospital is not effective against tuberculosis. There's another disinfectant that if you leave it on long enough, it is. We have switched to the new disinfectant that is effective against tuberculosis, and I move that we approve the new hospital disinfectant.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Kinsey, a second by Ayla Simon to approve the new hospital disinfectants. Roll call vote, please.
Brown?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Gasper?
Yes.
Kinsey?
Yes.
Knox?
Yes.
Simon? Yes.
Is there anything else that you have to say, Dr. Kinsey?
No.
All right. Well, thank you. I know you guys have been really, really busy, and statistics also show that. So thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Next is the quality assurance process improvement. Ms.
It gets better
Patton.
every day. Well, quality has been growing and growing and growing. We have started out with tasks that we all worked on, and from those tasks evolves a quality improvement program. So our committee is now lasting from about 9 o'clock till afternoon, maybe 1:30. So we're discussing all of the things that come into quality, and we have employees come, department heads come, they're given time and they come and present to us what they're doing with quality improvement and the tasks that they've been doing. Our infection control is now a huge program that Amber Jewell's working on. TB testing and risk assessments and all kinds of things. Employee health, service safety is Mary Hurl, but we've gone, and then the contract management that Kim has talked about, that Janet brings to the meeting. So we cover everything that's talked about at this hospital. Occurrences, grievances, complaints. We are going to be having a new grievance policy that we're working on right now. Different, kind of a different way of going about it, the surveyors informed us, so we are writing a new policy on that, and that'll probably come to you guys next month. You'll receive minutes from the meeting. I've kind of typed up a few there. It's 2 pages long, but we're covering everything in this hospital: risk assessments, infection control assessments, HIPAA assessments, internal, external. IT is bringing things that they're doing with the computer system at this hospital, so it affects everything that we do. So it's not just task anymore, it's growing and growing and growing and growing, so. Does anybody have any questions? Please don't ask me. But it has been a challenge and process to get everything, get our arms around what all this entails. And I think we have our arms around it now, and we're moving forward.
All right. Any questions for Pat? She didn't really want anything. Pat, thank you. Thank you for what you do. Next is EHR report. Is there anything additional to be reporting on EHR? No. Okay. Next, Rita, share convalescent home report.
Well, I'm back. We've been busy for January. Of course, this is February. I don't know if anybody has heard that the flu hit us pretty hard last week. We had several confirmed cases. So, of course, that comes in February. In January, however, before the flu, we had the candlelight dinner. And our theme was Starry Nights, and we had a packed dining room, and we had a nice evening of music and good food and a little bit of bubbly, and the residents enjoyed that. We also had something very exciting donated. We had a donation for a Whirlpool bath to help purchase. I'm currently looking for, this is so ironic, a plumber to just come and get me a bid and then some tile.
You should have warned me on that one.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, I'm still working on trying to get those bids. We're hoping to get that in place. The woman that donated that, I would really like to have that done so she can utilize that for that donation soon. We had quite a few losses in December, which impacted our census in January. At one point in January, our census was down to 45. That's pretty scary. However, we bounced back up to 53. We had 9 skilled residents, and our skilled days were up to 197. They were down, I think, in December, like 127, if I remember. I'm old, so my memory may not be good. Our meetings with our employees are going very well. They've informed us of several issues that I think has helped. One, our communication, and to be able to have our residents taken care of better. We have several people that we have hired, and they are currently going to the VOTEC for CNA classes. We're hoping that that will help ease some of our uses of agency nurses. It's really huge, and we need to decrease that as much as we can. Other than that, we're just staying busy. We're trying to keep our residents that feel like, by the way, prisoners. Because when we have sickness in our facility, we try to close down as much as we can, so we don't have, one, people bringing in new stuff, or people leaving. So if you hear any concerns about our residents and not being able to maybe do their normal routines, it's because we're trying to shut down the spread of the flu. And I think that is working, and we'll get back to normal soon. I'm hoping next week we'll be back to normal. We have staff and family that have also had the flu, and I think that's down. This year for the flu, missing 2 days is one thing, but they're having to miss a week at a time, and that really impacts scheduling. So I hope y'all will get it. Or if you've had it, I'm glad you're done.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Any questions for Rita? If not, Rita, thank you very much. Next, Kelly Parker, the homestead report.
The homestead had a paid occupancy percentage of 74.1% in the month of January. That is slightly down from last month, about 1.5%, or from December, about 1.5%. But we did a year-to-year comparison. We were at 60.2% last January, so 74.1% is a pretty good improvement. We've been hovering around that 10 to 15% improvement year-to-year comparison the whole fiscal year. We did have one person and then one of our providers move in with us in the month of January, and I think they found a house, so they'll be moving out soon, so that would be good for them. Rita mentioned the number of people passing away from nursing homes. They are doing that as well. I think in the last 6 weeks we've had 3 people pass away as well. So it's kind of tough on the staff, a little bit tough on the residents, but we're managing. We did have our Valentine's dinner last Friday. We kind of pulled out all the stops for steak and shrimp, and we had wine and had a band come in and play, and we had a really good time that evening. I heard several comments around town, people that participated with their families out there, that they really thought it was a nice evening. So the staff worked really hard on that evening, and it was well appreciated by those that attended. We had budgeted with the city to purchase new dining room furniture, and we've received part of that. The 52 chairs that we ordered came in, but the 11 tables are still not here. So we had a few people that thought we did a really good job of matching up the old tables, new tables with the old tables, just to find out that it was still the old table. So, but we're looking forward to showing off the new stuff when we do actually get it. The city also replaced a washer and dryer that had gone, I guess, past the point of no repair. And that, will conclude my report.
All right. Any questions for Kelly? If not, Kelly, the SMC Foundation report.
I don't have much. We haven't met since the last board meeting, except we are having a meeting this Friday at noon to approve our investment firm that we're going to move forward with, and an amount that we're going to start our initial investment to really put actions with our plans to hopefully one day have a significant endowment to help the medical center that's funded by interest on a regular basis.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kelly. And thank you for what you do. Next is Bridget's St. Anthony's report.
I don't really have a whole lot to say. I feel like this meeting rolled around really quick after the last one. Okay.
It was
I just thought maybe that was just me. I thought, I know time's going by fast, but my goodness. So we continue to work on a lot of the things that we talked about at the last meeting, and so those things are moving forward. And we do have our Healthplex that is opening up in North Oklahoma City on February 23rd. And so I think everybody's been scurrying around trying to get survey and all that good stuff done so they can get that open on a timely basis. So we will have 4 Healthplexes opened at that time. And I thought I heard somebody say that we'll have like 180,000 visits and projected for the next coming year. So that's hard for me to wrap my brain around. But that means that we're staying busy, and we certainly have been. So the flu is still rampant in Oklahoma City, and so so we still have had that challenge of trying to find beds. We've had 15 to 18 people holding, unfortunately, down in the ER waiting for beds, but they seem to be moving people pretty fluidly through the system. So, but it's a daily, it certainly is a daily challenge. So, we had our meeting with the affiliates, and we went over our views and had a little. So it kind of took up a lot of our time for our meeting, and so we didn't really get a chance to do some goals. So we'll visit about those at the next one, and hopefully have some things to share with you at that one. But so things are moving along nicely. And I think the telehospitalist program is coming together, and Dr. Rader decided that he wanted a start date of March. I said May last time, now I'm saying. But March is correct. March 18th is the start date for Cordell, and then we'll start rolling right after that. So he felt like he needed a little time with his family, and I completely understand that. He's going to try to take some time off. He's a very busy man, and wanted to be sure that he was fresh and ready to go with the program. So we will kick off on the 18th with Cordell.
Okay.
So, okay.
Anything else?
That's it. Unless y'all have any questions for me.
Anybody have any questions for Bridget?
As always, y'all are more than welcome if you happen to be in the city or anything, if you want to stop by any of the health plexes. They love to show people around, so just tell them where you're from and they'll show you around the facilities. The two of the facilities were built the same, but Mustang and North Oklahoma City have kind of migrated into a little bit different of a structure, so they each have their own little unique architecture to them. So,
Bridget, thank you. Thank you for coming.
You bet.
Thank you for sharing. Scott, anything to report from the city council?
Yeah, Kelly already reported we've bought a washer and dryer from the city side. And I thought it was interesting that they've been operating on residential washer and dryers over there up until now. They will not be any longer with this.
What's interesting is I found out also that those were originally built.
So,
What brand were they?
They don't make them anymore.
Okay, of course they do.
That's why.
And I guess the other thing is, as many of you noticed in the newspaper recently, that Scott Brown was not a filed candidate for council Ward 2, Seat 2. So that my position on this board is a council seat. So in effect, tonight is my last meeting because the next meeting is spring break and I will be off lounging in Austin at that time. So I won't be here for the next meeting. But 6 years is what I think we figured out. It's been here. A lot of change. I can tell you that early days on this board or authority for me were some of the most frightening and stressful times that I've been through as a volunteer public servant. And I today am far more relaxed than what I was back then. And I think, the time and the era of medicine as a whole is frightening, but I do feel the direction that this place is moving and going is certainly a good one and an improved one. And I know there are many, many, many more stones to turn over and look underneath to find what we've got to do next to keep making it better. But I'm happy that I was able to serve on this, and maybe someday I'll be back around. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Well, that goes into mine. I do want to tell Scott thank you. 6 years of service and 8 years on the city council. So thank you for your time and efforts that you have served. And we'll miss you. And hopefully you can handpick or maybe at least give us a good replacement. But again, thank you for your service and your time. And we will need to, at the next meeting then, to find a replacement. Scott also serves as our secretary. So I'll be asking around to see who might serve in that capacity. Somebody over here. So
Kayla said she would do it.
It initially would be for April, May, and June, and then we will have elections in June. So,
Hop up there and do it for a few months and
Get your feet
say,
wet real slow.
yeah. All right. Think about that. Any other items? New business? Anybody got anything? If not, we are adjourned.